Another night. Welcome to the shop. It's Saturday. I had a good day today. I went and saw my buddy Richard, who mills walnut, and I got this epic stash of walnut, which I'm about to show you. And then afterwards, we're gonna make another bandsaw box. We're gonna make another bandsaw box out of cedar fence board. So let's jump right into it, man. I wanted to kind of show you guys this wood because I am excited about it, dude. First off, I have these three pieces. Good looking pieces of walnut. These will all three of, can you guys see those over there? All three of these big long pieces of walnut are going to end up being napkin holders. That's why I got those. So I can replenish my napkin holder stock because I sold the last one on Etsy. It'll make some nice walnut napkin holders there. Let me tune in on this. There we go. I'm going down with a cold, guys, so I got the sniffles. Anyways, this beautiful little block here. If you can see some of the figure in that. So the plan for this one is to cut it, glue it back together, and make a bandsaw box. Same thing with this one, dude. Like, you can see the figure on this wood. Absolutely insane, dude. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece of walnut burl, dude. Look at that grain. Just beautiful. So this one will also get cut, glued back together to make some bandsaw boxes. And that's this one too. Also, this one's also going to be used for bandsaw boxes. In fact, a lot of this is going to be used for the bandsaw boxes. I just wanted to get my stock of walnut wood up there, so I don't have to, go back for a long time. This was also a beautiful piece of wood that I'm not sure what it's going to be, dude, but it is just a nice huge piece of walnut. And I don't know, I might use it for a brace on a trestle style coffee table is what I was thinking, but we will see. I just had to have that piece. The cool thing about my friend that mills walnut, dude, is he'll just let me go through the stuff and find the pieces that speak to me. This big ol' thick one is also going to be cut up, glued back together, and turned into some bandsaw boxes. Very nice piece of walnut. Oh, dude, you got to check the grain on this piece of figured walnut, dude. It is so like quilted. That's walnut, dude. It's not cut all wavy. That's literally just the figure of the wood. So yeah, I had to grab this little piece too. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with that, but it was so beautiful I couldn't leave it. Same thing with this. Got some just amazing. And then there's another one of those, like really highly figured walnut that, I don't know what I'm turning that into. Maybe it'll be a cutting board, who knows, but it was beautiful, dude, and I had to grab it. Put this back in the stock here. And then I just like the way that this one had some, like, a little bit of sapwood and a little bit of heartwood in the same piece. So I was thinking about cutting it this way and then gluing it and then making bandsaw boxes out of it. Or it could be a shelf. Then there's this just absolutely gnarly piece of walnut, dude. Figured. Yeah, what up, Mike? Yeah, dude. Look at this guy. Look at this thing. crazy figure in the wood. We got some bird's eye figure right here. We have these kind of natural cracks and stuff, which you know I fucking love to put in the middle of a bandsaw box, dude. So, look at that, dude. Just incredible. Yeah, dude. Mike, I posted that video, and it's the guy that mills this walnut. He also has that bandsaw, and it's just, dude, look at this. So big old thick. I don't know what this is gonna be, dude, but I feel like this right here needs to be the top corner of a super sick bandsaw box, and this one needs to be the face of a bandsaw box. So yeah, this is just incredible wood. Yeah, but that bandsaw he's got is just nuts, dude. And he restored that thing. I'm not even sure how he got it over there, but like, yeah, it's badass. Get this one out the way. Anyway, that's my walnut score for today. And it'll probably be the last walnut I buy for a while until I can start selling more. So that's kind of where I'm at. Anybody that's been following the channel might be happy for me. I got a couple more clamps today. Getting all clamped up there. Come on. But yeah, so anyways, here is the bandsaw box from last night's stream that made from a single cedar fence board. Maybe it was like 1.1 cedar fence boards. Either way, there it is. And I have some more cedar glued up. And we're going to get after that right now, actually. Let's get after that. I have 2 big chunks of cedar glued up. 2 big chunks of cedar glued up. So we can do 2 of those. I still haven't. I need to sand this little display table. Sand this and put a finish on it. Let's see here. You know what, dude? Let's just sort it out. I'll leave that in there, or that, or that. Useful. Those are all useful. Okay. So, came in here this morning and did some glue ups. So this one can make a nice bandsaw box. Oh, while I was over there at the guy that mills Walnut's house, I met another woodworker came through, another guy came through, and cool dude, and his wife, and they were there checking out wood too, and yeah, it was a good day, man. It was a great day. Got some walnut, met some other woodworkers. Got to pick their brain a little bit, you know. Super nice dude. I want to say his name was Chris. Very cool dude. But yeah, anybody watching, I made a short video tonight of Richard's bandsaw that he has over there, and it is an enormous, I want to say it's like 10 or 12 foot tall, yall, I think is the brand, bandsaw that is, it's crazy, dude. The wheels on it The wheels that the band go on are 36 inches. So, you know, like the wheels alone are this wide. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? But yeah, 36-inch wheels on that thing. 7.5 horsepower bandsaw. I think for comparison, my little bandsaw here has 14-inch wheels and is 1 horsepower. I believe so. It's a beast, dude. It runs on 3-phase power. Super jelly. But yeah, it's dope, dude. And he managed to get it in there, take it apart and rebuild it, get it all running. And it's quite the marvelous bandsaw. Here's one of the blocks. And then, oh, here's another block. Guys, my buddy Mike in here, that's in the chat under the name Vert McGirt, he is an avid outdoorsman, and he designs these t-shirts and then he sells them on his Instagram page and his Etsy page, and he raises money to help save public lands. I don't know if you realize this, but kind of public lands are under threat, and so he raises money to help organizations that take care of public lands. So if you want to go check him out, dude, his Instagram is Shoys in the Hood. I'm not sure what his Etsy is called, but Mike, maybe you could tell us what your Etsy is if you're still in here. Okay, so I think for one of these, I would like for it to stand vertically, dude. Yeah, if you go check out Public Lands Owner on Etsy, Mike's got his t-shirts on there, dude, and he gives a portion of the proceeds to help protect and preserve public lands. It's a really good cause, and I think no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you can agree that public lands are something that should be protected. So yeah, go check them out. All right, so I think for this one, dudes, I'm gonna do like a vertical one. What do you think? Let me go get the bottom square on the chop saw. There we go. Now we can cut the shape out on the bandsaw. I think this other one I might make into 2 boxes, dude, actually. But yeah, I'm going to point you guys over towards the bandsaw now so I can start making some cuts. And also I forgot to put on my respirator, guys. You always want to be wearing a respirator when you're making sawdust. Okay, I'm going to point you guys over towards the bandsaw now. Did that do it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. So it's going to sit like that, and I need to cut the back off of it, and the top actually. I kind of think maybe that should be the face. I'm just going to mark this. It's good to mark your pieces, dude, just so you remember. Yeah, Shane, Kevin, what's up?
Dude, I messed up. I messed up on this cut, and I'm trying to think about how to repair this so that it looks okay, dude. That's where I'm at right now. So I totally messed up on this. I don't think I'll be able to cut that, scroll that any tighter because of the blade I have on. Maybe if I tighten my blade. No, dude.
I have an idea. I have an idea to save that. Man, I need to order another scroll blade, dude. This one's gonna be fucked. We'll see, dude. Let's do the drawers. And then of course for this one, we should use a clamp. Oh, very nice. Alright. I think that's the cutting for that one. And I kind of want to show you guys my what I'm going to try to my error right there. So when I was cutting this bottom drawer, dude, I came in this way and I just didn't turn in time. So then I thought, in order to fix it, I could cut this bottom piece off, right? So that I could come in from here, come back around. Then we can glue this back on, glue that back together. If we glue that back together, then we can get the drawer in there, right? Right? Yeah, then the drawer will go back in there. So, might have saved it. I don't know, dude. Oh, and then I have this little piece that I trimmed off here that I might glue back in there, or just let there be a gap. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna set this out of our way for now. This can be another one. But for now, I have to figure out what I'm gonna do here. Some nylon poly here. We've got some instant bond wood adhesive. So we're gonna try the tight bond, Insta Bond, dude. Let's see how that does. And some clamps. So this guy goes here and there. Okay. Whoa, shit, that is coming out quick, dude. Maybe thin isn't the way. I think maybe we should go thicker. Hit it with some thick. Let's get a clamp on there. I'll do it this way. Okay, not like that. Yeah, we'll see how nicely I can fix this mistake here, guys. If you were here last night, you would have saw me make some mistakes on that piece of work last night, but by the end of the night, you couldn't even tell it happened. We fixed it up pretty good. has to get clamped this way, but man, maybe we'll wait for that. We'll wait for that. In the meantime, we'll put the drawers together. Hope everybody had a good Saturday, man. I certainly did. Went and saw my buddy up north and got some walnut. Hung out with my dog. You know, I've switched from using the wood glue to using the CA glue on these bandsaw boxes simply because I don't want to wait till tomorrow to continue working on them. I don't want to wait an hour for it to harden before I can start kind of working on them. You know, what I like about this stuff is I can get back to working on the project pretty quickly after gluing. Now, I don't really need, you don't need a whole lot of clamping force on the drawers, but I do like to put a little bit, give them just a little bit of pressure. But ultimately, you don't need to like squeeze the heck out of these, just kind of trying to hold them. Set this aside. Get this other drawer going. I did order a Carter guide for the bandsaw, so we'll see how long it takes to get that, and that should enable me to do much tighter scroll cuts. I also need to order another Timberwolf blade. That'll help too, but it's only so tight I can scroll with the setup I have now, you know? I still use the Type Bond for like the glue ups and for a lot of stuff, but for like this, where I want to like complete one of these during the show here, it's just better to use the CA glue so I can get back to working on stuff. Because it sets so fast, you know? One thing I do like better about the wood glue though is like it gets off your skin easier. When I use the CA glue, I end up getting on my hands, and then I try to like unlock my phone later, and it won't let me. Okay, I'm feeling like I can clamp here now and just be super careful. Hey, welcome everybody to the channel. I'm making another bandsaw box out of cedar fence boards. So like, I think $5 build cost on this one or something like that. Some cool, affordable gifts. It's kind of my thought process here. It's not really spreading in there very well. Maybe I should use the medium. That's okay. Is this going to be doable here? Very careful. Oh yeah, it's working, dude. Getting some squeeze out though, so let's deal with that. Let's deal with that right away here before it runs all over in there. Derp. I had this extended all the way, guys. And then once that hardens, then we can glue the back on it. Oh yeah, we also have to glue it back together up there too. So while we wait for this one to do whatever it's doing, dry out, we can cut the other one. We have this whole other one. I'm gonna point you guys back towards the bandsaw. One sec. How's that look? All right, yeah, we're on the bandsaw. Hey, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Now we're gonna cut the front and the back off of the drawer. right, guys, I'm gonna move you guys back over here, just so you're looking at the table. I'll put some glue up. Do a little bit of glue in here. I'm sorry, man, but I can't read Cyrillic, so I'm not sure what that says, but welcome to the shop anyway. All right, so this one's going to be a box like this. And it'll have one large drawer like that. Let's get the glue in, dude. Kind of putting a lot in here because this one has a very large crack, much like your mom. Heyo. Let's get a little bit more in that one. I think that should be good, dude. Yeah, it's starting to creep down in there. We'll give it a little. One of these seems to help a lot of the time. There we go. And we'll get one more on there. Whoa, buddy. Whoa. Easy. Okay. Let me just grab a paper towel to get some of that squeeze out off there. Drawer figured out. again, I don't really like to clamp these too hard, but I do like to give them a little bit of a clamp while the glue hardens. Not too crazy, just to hold it there. You know, I'm not trying to put too much force on it. I also don't want it to be able to cut loose. So there we go. Yeah, man. Okay, by now, our drawers on the other box will be done. Mostly done. Excuse me. Let's get this out of the way. Yeah, so these will be the drawers on that vertical one, dude. Glue still fits a little way. I'm reluctant to take it out of the clamps quite yet. Actually, we could put the back on this one while we're here, while it's doing its thing. I do believe it goes like this. Yes, it does. Welcome everybody to the shop. We're just hanging out making some stuff, dude. Making these little jewelry boxes, bandsaw boxes out of cedar fence boards tonight. And I'm gonna give them to somebody for Christmas. It'll be some handmade Christmas gifts for people, dude. Probably. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, dude. Without stabbing myself in the eyeball like that, but that doesn't have to be crazy tight either, dude. This has to hold for a little while. Let's get it out the way up. This is the one we made last night out of a cedar fence board, guys. So that's the one from last night. All right, dude, let's see how this one's doing. All right, so we were able to actually fix that. And how's it going? This will have to get sanded down to fit. It's going to be tight, but it's going to work. And this is the top drawer. This will be the bottom drawer. This will be a nice little sculptural, also useful little drawer thing. Need to glue this. Need to glue that, and we need to. Where do we need to sand? Where does this need to be sanded? At the bottom and at the left side. Welcome to the channel, everybody. It's I try to stream every night. I want to say this is night 35 or 36 that I have streamed consecutively from the wood shop. Hey there, Pearl. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome. Maybe just a touch more glue there. We'll do it like this, man. Nice, dude. Nice. Let me. Whoa. You know, let's get the glue off there, guys. Hey, y'all, if you're enjoying the channel and you want to help out, dude, subscribe. Hitting that subscribe button would help me out a lot. If you're having a good time watching me make mistakes and fix them. I think no matter what, you're going to make mistakes, you know. In most things, in a lot of things in life, you're going to make mistakes. It's all about how you fix them, dude. We can glue the back on this one now. That one's going to go just like that. Bang. Perfect. Do I have enough clamps for this one? Yeah. Yeah, let's get on it. I normally use wood glue for this, guys, but I'm using CA glue just so it'll harden quicker and we can keep working. I'm sure you guys don't want to wait an hour for glue to dry. So I'm using some thick CA glue for that. That's not good. Oh, I got glue on my clamp here. Let's redo that, bud. Down a little lower. And I think we'll do one more clamp on this one. One more clamp on this one, guys. And we're going to just give a quick wipe to get the excess glue squeezed out. Okay, and we're gonna get this out of the way. Bring back this one. No, that glue's still wet. We're gonna let this one be, and while we're letting that one be, I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy over to the belt sander, sand off the bottom a little bit so it'll fit in the cabinet better.
Kind of just waiting for that to waiting for that one to dry, dude. Oh no.
There's our drawer. Kind of a weird fit. Hey, this one turned out pretty cool, dude. Just gotta sand it off. What do you guys think? That one's not bad for being made out of a fence board, huh? These are both made from fence boards. This was a cedar fence board. This was a cedar fence board. And these will make, I think those will make cool little Christmas gifts for people, huh? Like if I gave that to somebody for Christmas, dude, I think they would be stoked. What do you guys think? I'm going to get back to sanding, guys. Also, if you're enjoying hanging out in the shop, man, and you want to help out, click that subscribe button, dude. It would help me out a lot. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all that. I'm trying to grow the channel, dude, and that would be awesome. Uh-oh. All right, guys, so we got a bit of a problem here that we need to fix. Where was it? There are some cracks here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put some sawdust in there and then some thin CA glue and then some activator and then sand it down. And that should square it away. Whoa. It's not the one. This is the one. I think that's all the cracks sealed up, dude. I spilt some glue over there. Not a good move. If it seems like I'm sanding this a lot, it's because I did that sawdust and CA glue trick to fill the cracks. So I'm just kind of sanding till I get past the CA glue, like overspill here. But it is pretty freaking smooth now, dude. Looking pretty good for a fence board. You know what, man? I'm gonna take this to the belt sander. motherfucker, dude. Evan, hello. Welcome. I'm going to take a break for a second here, dudes. Sander's starting to kill my hand. How's everybody doing? Good to see y'all, dude. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Having a good time, dude. Making these cool little gift boxes out of upcycled fence boards. So yeah, you just glue all these fence boards together, clamp them, and then cut them back out, and then clamp them, glue them. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I did get a good load of walnut wood in today. We'll start working with that coming up next week. I have a bunch of projects in mind, like napkin holders and some more of these boxes, a couple other things. I also grabbed some pine to make some more shelving things. People seem to like those. So yeah, I got a lot of projects lined up coming up this week, dude. It's Saturday night, chilling in the shop, pretty much living the dream. Yeah, I made some pretty egregious mistakes on this one, but was able to fix them, and I think it's going to turn out badass anyway. Who bought what? The shelf thing? I had somebody on Etsy bought my last napkin holder, and then somebody at the show bought one of my last shelving things. In fact, that guy's napkin holder should get there today, I think, tonight. All right, break over. I'm going to get back to sanding, guys. So basically, I sanded it at 80. Well, I shaped it on the belt sander, then I sanded it at 80. Now I'm sanding it at 120. And then I'll hit it at 180. And then I'll hit it at 220 grit. And it'll be ready for oil. And I kind of like the way... So this is what the cedar fence picket box looks like with the golden oak colored stain. And this is what it looks like with the black walnut colored stain. You can see there's like quite a bit of difference. They both have a walnut drawer pull, but I like the darker a little better. Thank you, Kevin. You like that lighter color or the darker color better? So there's the darker, that's the black walnut color, Danish oil. And then that is the golden oak color Danish oil. So they are quite a bit different. Yeah, I agree. I think the darker one looks nicer, especially with that darker colored drawer pull on it. I think it looks better. And I think the lighter one looks a little too orangey. Now we're going to go 180. We got one more grit to go, and then we're going to glue on some drawer pulls, and then we're going to stain it. If you're having a good time hanging out the shop, throw me a subscribe, man. It would help out a lot. I'm going to get back to sand. I still have to hit that one, and then we're going to switch to 220 grit and sand it all down again. I keep losing this. My dust catcher keeps falling off. I'm going to have to come up with a permanent solution for that at some point. to 220 grit. Oh, dude, I don't know if I have 220. Yo, this is the last 220, dude. are done cutting and sanding, dude. It is time to glue these drawer pulls on, which I think I'm just going to go with these square ones. Big blocky square ones. I'm digging it. Yeah. So we're going to get these drawer pulls glued on, and then the best part, we are going to oil them, dude. Everybody's favorite part. So I did make some mistakes early on in this build of the bigger box, but was able to fix it. And I think it's going to be fine, dude. So I feel like mistakes are kind of going to happen sometimes, and you just got to figure out how to deal with them, dude. Not really a big deal. Let that sit for a second. I got the little walnut chunks laying around. Might as well use it, you know. Excuse me. Okay, I gotta open the window because the fumes from Danish oil are not super good for you guys. So open the window, open the door, grabs the Danish oil. I'm gonna need a rag. You know what? I'm gonna cut this in half. What's up, everybody that's just now tuning in? Welcome to the shop, dude. Try to stream every day, making stuff. All right. So we can pull the drawers aside for now and let the pulls dry on them. If you haven't subscribed yet, dude, clicking that subscribe button would help me out a lot. But, dude, as always, no pressure. I'm not the boss of you, and you can do whatever you like. I think these will make nice gifts, dude. Nice little gifts. All it's really costing me is, some fence boards and some time. Yeah, you guys probably want to see that first swipe. Oh yeah, buddy. Looks pretty cool, man. It'll make a nice gift for somebody to do and probably last them forever. we'll let that drink for a second, dude, and come back through and wipe off the excess in a minute. Getting stinky up in here with this stuff, dude. Even with the door and the window open. Dude, that came out really nice, actually, dude. Once that all gets wiped down, that is going to be beautiful. right, now I'm going to go back through. I'm going to go back through and just kind of wipe off any excess oils off of these. This one came out pretty dope, dude. And this is the one that I messed up on and ended up coming out really nice. So, you know, you never know, dude. Mistakes happen, you just deal with them and keep going. And oftentimes it'll still turn out okay. Just do a quick look at these with their drawers in before I set them to dry. Oop, one missing in the drawer. I'm not sure what happened up here on this one. Let's give it a light sand and see if we can't fix it, dude. Before we get too far. I just want to thank everybody for hanging out, man. Pretty cool. Slowly growing this channel, and it's nice to see the subscribers start coming in and people hanging out in the shop. It's cool, man. It's cool. Appreciate y'all. For sure, dude. So yeah. There's a nice little, that'll be a nice gift, dude. So that was a fence board. That was a fence board when we started, guys. There's another one. This was also a fence board when we started, and now it looks really cool. And it's a cool little gift that people could put stuff in. So yeah, dude, join me tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna start making stuff out of this big pile of walnut that I got. I also have some. I still have a bunch of that madrone world to get through and make stuff with. So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, dude. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night.